Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about the upcoming made-to-order Hasbro offering for the Storm 4-pack, and I think this is being seen in a couple different ways, and I just want to give my take on it. Personally, I think this is the best solution for Hasbro to fix the issues they're having with Transformers across the board. And I think one of the biggest concerns is from people who aren't into G1, they're sick and tired of G1. You know, every time you look up, there's a G1 release, and G1's getting a new mold for this, and G1's getting new this, and it becomes a situation where you have a lot of the community, you know, and there's some pretty prominent, you know, younger YouTubers in the community who are just, you know, who claim to not hate G1, but they spew G1 hate every time they get a chance. So I don't really know how that works. They want to claim they collect everything, but we know they don't collect a lot of G1, you know, and that's okay. You know, G1 is not the end all be all. It is the original, but like a lot of other things, at some point you kind of have to move on from it. And to me, I think this new Seeker 4-pack, this Storm Seeker 4-pack is a great way to fix a lot of the community concerns with all the different G1 figures that keep coming out, you know, and re-releases that, you know, and a lot of the community's opinions seem to be pushing back other figures and releases coming out. And so one of the things I was thinking about in this case is, you know, how this really worked in Marvel Legends. And with Marvel Legends, if you look at and I'll throw the images up on the screen here, but if you look at some of the offerings they've had for made to order, you've got the Dragon Man and you've got like Mephisto. Well, some of those, you could say, well, those characters are too big to go on a mainline, to go on the shelf in a retail store. But at the end of the day, is that really true? I mean, I don't think that's the case for any of those. Maybe it's just an offering that a retailer wouldn't want to pick up. But as far as the regular line of Marvel Legends, that wasn't impacted by that made-to-order piece. If you got it, if you want it, if you didn't want it, you didn't get it. And the great thing about the made-to-order too is it is not tier-based. So this is the offering, this is how much it costs. If you want it, you get it. If you don't want it, you don't get it. And it's just that simple. So unlike the HasLabs where you have to break it through those tiers and you have to make sure everybody signs up and then people back out at the last minute. A lot of people wait until the very end before they'll commit. At least with the made to order, this is the offering. You have until this date. If you order it, you get it. If you don't order, you don't get it. And there's no tiers, there's no breakthroughs, there's no, you know, nothing like that you have to worry about. So you get your complete product. And to me, this is a good way to finish out SS86. And honestly, this new Transformers Studio Series Generation 1 line they tagged for this Seeker 4-pack. We learned with the Legacy 5-pack that went up, G1 people will buy the color accurate versions. Now, does that mean we're going to rebuy the same characters over and over and over and over again? Of course not. Once you get the one you want that's ideal or ideal enough, then you're pretty much done. So what they could do is, instead of making the Studio Series Generation 1 line an actual line, I suggest they just make it made to order. You know, you throw the Dotson Bros, do 5 of those in color, and they're color accurate G1 cartoon animation release looks. You throw them in a 4-pack, throw them in a 5-pack, you know, Silver Streak, Blue Streak, you know, Prowl, Smokescreen, throw them in a 5-pack. You know, you do a Wheeljack, a Jazz, a Mirage, you know, a brand new Mirage, which we definitely need, and throw them in a 4-pack or a 3-pack or something like that. You know, just don't make it where it's, you know, make it where it's those figures are going to be desired by the ones who desired. And if you want them, you get them. If you don't want them, you don't get them. And a good thing about that too is going to make them limited as well. So instead of making them a main line and sitting on the shelves and clogging up space and ending up at Ross or Ollie's, then you end up with just enough, and you'll have some that'll go onto the, on eBay and third-party market, stuff like that, and they'll get marked up for the people who thought they didn't want it. And before you know it, you're creating that Gen 1 Transformers, high-end market again. Now, is that necessary? No, it's not. But I think for the most part, that's what G1ers want. And and me personally, I mean, I don't collect for value, but a lot of this stuff is eventually gonna be sold. I mean, we're not gonna keep it all, or you're gonna give it to your kids or something like that at some point. But I think that'd be a good way to help the community fix a lot of the back and forth we have as far as like, oh, there's another G1 in the mix. Just drop it into more made to order, and I would just make the rest of the line that way. Now, the good thing about made to order, it doesn't always have to be $150. But what you can do is drop in multiple. So let's say, for instance, they do the mini bots. So we got a Great Gears, Cosmo Beachcomber, Huffer needs a new figure, and then we got Power Glide. So we go even more cartoon accurate with those colors, and drop them in a 5-pack. Maybe throw Brawn in there and Wind Charger, and you drop them in a 7-pack or 8-pack or something like that. And I think that's a good way to essentially get that done. No different than like the area bots. Yes, they're probably going to do a better, more accurate version of these guys as well. Maybe improve it with better hands, because those hands are terrible. But it is what it is. And you drop that into a gift pack and then make it made to order. And if you want that, you go from there. Because they could have did the same thing with like Lyle Kaiser and those guys. That didn't have to be HasLabs. I think that we've seen that, which is kind of funny because nobody even talks about the fact that there hasn't been a Generation 1 HasLab yet. If you want to count Unicron, you can count him, but he's technically from War for Cybertron. That wasn't his G1 look. With all the Greebling and stuff like that, he's definitely not accurate, compared to like the Cell Studio version. But if you wanted to look at it from that standpoint, none of the HasLabs has been G1. So if we're not doing G1 HasLabs, then that should be one reason that the non-G1ers don't complain. But that's neither here nor there. It's always, well, we're not getting mainline the way we want. So as soon as you're done with SS86, you're gonna have a lot of breathing room. So make everything for Transformers, just Studio Series Generation 1, just make it made to order. I don't know how many people in the community would think that's a terrible thing or a good thing, but at least you wouldn't have to worry about the lines having issues. And then Hasbro can see for sure, and a lot of people who are hating on G1 can see for sure that, hey, can Armada, can Animated, can Prime, can Live Action survive in mainline without G1? It probably can. I mean, there's a lot of people who are growing up now who did not watch the G1 cartoon, even like now that you can watch it on YouTube for free. And it's not their Transformers. Their Transformers was Armada. Their Transformers was Animated. I've got kids, and Animated is their favorite. And honestly, for like Prime, their Prime is Live Action Prime. 2007 Transformers is their Prime. When they think of Optimus Prime, they don't think of, what I'm used to seeing and what I think of from my childhood. So there's nothing wrong with the community, having their own favorite versions. And maybe this will be a way to help the community get everything they want. So if everybody wants something different, then we could say, hey, moving forward, or Hasbro could say, hey, moving forward, we're going to drop all of the Generation 1 Studio Series into made to order boxes, and they'll do those every 3 to 4 months. So, and then to me, you wrap up with something super cool like a HasLab and call it good enough, because you could even, honestly, you can even stop that and just call it, instead of doing the HasLabs for it. Because what I'd love to see, because we have a Nemesis, I'd love to see the Revenge, and and it doesn't even have to be a Transformer. They could just make it just, Galvatron ship. But that'd be great to have that, as a made to order, 400 bucks, 100 bucks, whatever you're going to make it, and have that as a piece we could all pick up and you just buy and you're done with it. So, and like saying, and moving over to the HasLab piece, maybe the HasLab is something they do for something really special, something really, really expensive, because you probably can't, if they're going to do Primus, which I think is the big, since they said they're not doing Unicron, which I think is a huge miss, but I understand them wanting to make it special for those who bought the original HasLab. I'll just have to be happy with my Stealth Studio, because I am not spending the money, $2,500 to get that Unicron, but it is what it is. But if they're gonna do HasLab Primus, it's probably even better to do something that's gonna be $700 or $800 as a HasLab. But I mean, could they just get rid of it completely and just go straight made to order for all this stuff that we want? So, but I would say my argument would be push everything G1 to made to order. Super simple. And even if you don't have to maybe even do multiple packs, you could do single releases and say, hey, you know what? This is going to be, we're redoing Sunstreaker. Brand new Sunstreaker, brand new mold. It's going to be $50 and made to order. We're going to make however many we make that people order. Something like that. Or we're going to redo Hound, or, we're going to redo Ironhide and, Ratchet and put them in a 2-pack. I would have a problem with that at all, and it just makes it easier for us, because those who want it, you get it, and you're going to get it. You're not having to worry about chasing it down. Is it a Target exclusive? Which, and part of the thing with Target exclusive, people don't understand, that's only for the US. CMD store and like Toy Snowman in Canada get those as well. Because I actually bought Perceptor from Canada. I didn't get it from the US. Because I didn't even want to chase them down. I tried to go into the pre-order. I couldn't get them. So I pre-ordered it from Canada and got it. So, I mean, the exclusives are not really exclusive to the stores. Those are US exclusives for the most part. But you can always get them outside of that. But because a lot of people are talking about Starscream, they're getting them from Canada and stuff like that. Like, that's not new. That's been around for as long as Transformers, Target, and Walmart exclusives has been around. So, but yeah, I think one of the big things would be like the Dawson Bros. Just throw them all, and like I said, I've got Prowl kind of over here, because he's with my SS86 line. But throw them in a 4-pack, throw the mini bots, throw those up on MTO, make them made to order, and I think that'll satisfy a lot of the community, and then we can just kind of move on and not have a lot of the hatred, as far as, people bashing G1, and then of course G1ers, attacking people who don't like G1, because yes, G1 is the foundation, but things move on. And as a person who collects SS86 exclusive, as you've probably seen here, I'm kind of walking through my collection a little bit. Yeah, I have every SS86 release is out, and I have everyone on pre-order. Apparently Target is going to be charging us on the 19th. Well, I don't know if I'm sure everybody got the notification, because I think even TJ Omega, I was watching this show the other day, he said that. But they got the notification that they're going to be charging us for the Insecticon, Starscream, and Prowl. So that's going to be cool to have them all. Like I said, once we have those 3, we're really kind of in the final stretch of SS86, because we only have 3 more figures I've announced. I know SDCC is in a week or so, so we'll probably see some more reveals, but we don't really have much to go in SS86. So if they're going to redo those, like redo this Astro Train and do them in more cartoon accurate colors, I also see the option too, this made to order could also be for toy accurate, because I can tell you what I would really have liked is them to do the Dinobots in their original colors. This, with the chrome and stuff on them instead of the gray plastic, like the toy versions, because the toy versions are coming. I mean, at the end of the day, they're doing it in Missing Link, because Missing Link is specifically the G1 toy with updated articulation. I've got the Magnus downstairs, but who's to say they don't redo all these SS86 releases in toy accurate versions? With the vacuum metallized chrome, You know, the different head sculpts. You know, that I could see that being the case because these molds aren't going to die. And honestly, yes, there's new collectors coming into the space every day, but are we going to have new collectors who are going to pick these things up on the aftermarket versus buying them brand new from Hasbro without them having something special going on? So I could see that being something that comes down the road where we get toy accurate version of these because they've already done a few. You know, Willie, I think Gears, they did Gears as well, and Brawn. So who's to say this whole SS86 line is not going to go the route of Gears and Brawn where we end up with toy versions of these great articulated figures that just look more toy accurate versus the Missing Link line, which is truly the G1 mold, or you know, a retool of the G1 mold to G1 toy mold to have better articulation with updates and things like that. So, but yeah, let me know what you guys think. If this is something that you've been thinking about, or your thoughts on having all of the new Studio Series Generation 1 go to made to order. If that's a good idea, if that's terrible, you know, do you think that would help the community? You think that would be good for Hasbro? Do you think that'd be good for collectors? You know, because yeah, you're going to end up with some stuff that's going to be maybe packed in that you don't want to buy the whole thing. But Hasbro's already shown this. Those multi-packs sell. You know, that Legacy 5-pack, people didn't buy it. And then I can tell you, who personally had that 5-pack, I got it for Jazz. Sold my other 4 figures for more than I paid for the 5-pack. And that was just me throwing it on eBay at $10 and having it bid up. Because that's just what people do. So I don't think there's an issue with that going that route. And if you got a year to pay for it, 8 months to pay for it, whatever, and you can get exactly what you want, and that's what they can do, I think this is a good route. But do let me know what you guys think, you know, in the comments down below. Catch you guys later. Peace.